We like to build up all the anticipation.
Wait for it.
Let's say hypothetically that I don't know anything about fly fishing.
Yeah, right?
It was like this instant 8-way man crush.
I'm on the fence.
The time we've been doing this podcast, I've never seen Uncle Buck perk up his dolphin procreation. Like you just flipped up out of your chair.
Yeah, he just blew out his blowhole.
What are you talking about?
And that's pretty much my dream coming true, is to actually meet you guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm the humblest guy I know.
Work and do trade shows in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. You meet some pretty wild guys.
You blew it! I'm the worst PR person ever. Fire me.
So we're wrapping up today. This is day 2 at the Great American Outdoor Show. This is Uncle Catfish. We have a special guest. We're going to go around the table. To my left is my brother.
I'm Steve.
This is Dave.
I'm Will.
And I'm Jason Brown, Media Relations Manager for the National Rifle Association of America.
The NRA.
The NRA.
Welcome,
NRA.
Jason.
I'm not saying that you guys, like hypothetically, let's say I don't know anything about running the Great American Outdoor Show.
Well, yeah, just go with it.
I mean, like hypothetically, but I don't. So how much stuff do you have to do to get this organized, like pre-show to like after show? How much is on your plate?
It's so much to think that goes into this show every year. They're planning next year's show right now.
Really?
Oh, man.
They're doing it out there on the floor. Our show manager, the vendor relations folks, they're already booking the booths for next year as the vendors are here on site.
And this is only the second day.
Yeah.
This is only day 2. Well, that started days ago.
Wow.
I mean, as they're setting up, we've got our vendor services and our exhibitor services team walking through saying, hey, get locking your rate for 2019. We want you to come back. We want you to keep being a part of this tradition. So this is a year-round process. I mean, it's not the biggest consumer outdoor sports show in the world for nothing. Right? That takes an incredible amount of effort from a lot of talented people at the NRA and a lot of folks here in Harrisburg and the surrounding community to put this on. It's really a team effort. It's unbelievable.
It definitely shows when you walk through the area and look at all the vendors and what's here and what's going on. So
It's a major point of pride for us as a podcast having it in our backyard.
Absolutely.
I mean, as our fans and friends have, that they know, we talk about this show.
Yeah, at length.
We've had this sandbox to ourselves for the last, 20 years in our backyard that we've always played in.
Yeah.
And over time, we've got more and more people that now are our friends to play in this same sandbox. The only thing that I think the NRA really did was really make this sandbox epic.
They kicked it up a notch.
Yeah, the sandbox now has a slide in it and, some sand toys. Because it's amazing. Like, I walked
a lazy
around,
moat.
and the products that are here, the people that come here to this show, I mean, I'm just walking around, just the camper hall alone today, just a camping hall today. I
Outdoor
dumbfounded.
lifestyle.
I look like a tourist. Like, stop everything. I want to look at the Toyota tent camper thingy. Yeah, so it's an amazing show. I just don't understand really how you can possibly organize this many people talking to you would baffle me because I can't, like, Atlanta, America?
Yeah.
Atlanta, America? Atlanta, America? I can't even get that right. So, yeah.
Bless your heart.
Yeah. Jason, it's amazing what you guys do.
It's impressive because we look at the NRA does other shows. We've got other big marquee events. Obviously, the NRA annual meetings and exhibits each year that travels the country and unites the membership of the organization in big cities. We look forward to that event every spring. We have a new event that we have in the summer, the NRA Carry Guard Expo. It's a self-defense, seminar, self-defense event that we have. But this show is really special to us, and it never travels anywhere other than Harrisburg because it doesn't have to. Harrisburg is home to the show, and it's been home to this outdoor show for decades in some form or fashion under some name. And when we had the opportunity to come in and turn from an exhibitor into the show producer, it was a gold mine for us because it wasn't just an opportunity to use the production power and the influence of the NRA to make a great outdoor show, because it already was a great outdoor show.
Right.
What we wanted to do was, take what was essentially an amazing regional show that brought in sportsmen from Pennsylvania and the surrounding states and turned it into the biggest and the best outdoor show in the country, where we bring in folks from coast to coast, because Pennsylvania, I mean, let's look at the facts and figures. I mean, there are more than 1 million NRA members that live within 300 miles of Harrisburg.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's due probably to the population density of the East Coast, but it also speaks to just how much of an outdoor mecca Pennsylvania is.
Did you say 1 million NRA members within 300 miles of Harrisburg?
1 million. That's about a fifth of our total membership. That's amazing.
Wow, that is amazing.
This is NRA country.
Yeah, hey, guys.
Pennsylvania's NRA country,
Pennsylvania gives, routinely year after year issues more hunting licenses than any other state in the union. There's no better place to have this show, and that's why the show has been so successful for so many decades. And when we came in, we just wanted to make it bigger and better and turn it into a truly national destination. We've been able to do that. Last year, we had folks from 48 states
I believe
buy
that.
tickets and come in. And I got an email just the other day, but before the show started, a gentleman from Finland wanted information about the show because he wanted to visit.
Wow.
If you say that again, and a person from Finland wants to visit Harrisburg, Pennsylvania to go to an outdoor show.
Yeah, he must be a narwhal hunter.
It's an amazing thing. And, the folks here in the local government, it's hard to imagine the smile on their face when they hear that Harrisburg becomes the outdoor capital of the world for 9 days.
We'll buy his ticket.
Do you think that we actually sometimes take it for granted that we only live 10 minutes down the road?
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Because this guy coming from Finland literally has to go through leaps and bounds to get here.
Customs,
but when he gets here, it's worth it. Like, if you've never seen this show before, if you're listening to this and have never seen this show before, and you love anything in the outdoors, you are seriously missing out.
Well, when we buy something here, we have to figure out, are we going to carry it around for the rest of the day? He has to figure out how he's going to fly it back to Finland.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
I just bought a cowhide rug.
Try getting that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Does that have to go through customs?
It would, yeah.
It's got to get through my wife, through the CFO of our household.
I think she'll say yes.
I hope so. Yeah. We'll see.
It's we've got roots down in the community too, and that was really important when the NRA had the opportunity to start producing the show. We came to the community and said, "Hey, we're not just going to take the show over and make it better. We're really going to be part of this community." I mean, the NRA had exhibited at the show for a long time, and we brought in members. We got new members here. We promoted our hunting and outdoor programs, our safety and training programs, which we're known for. But it was important to us not to just put a show on here. We wanted to be part of the community.
Sure.
And the way we do that, and have done that for the past 5 years, again, this is our 5th anniversary of the Great American Outdoor Show, is in the weeks leading up to the show, we take in grant requests from local organizations, whether it be law enforcement, youth organizations, outdoor organizations, groups that make a real impact in their community and are doing good work. And good work in promoting the future of the outdoor sports and the shooting sports. And to date, we have given more than $190,000 to Central Pennsylvania-based organizations.
That's awesome. I never knew that.
Anything from your local Boy Scouts organizations, law enforcement. As a matter of fact, there's the Swatara Police Department right up the road.
Yeah.
They had a K-9 team that a couple years ago they lost due to funding.
Okay.
They came to us and said, look, we really need this K-9 team to help us do drug interdiction and get drugs off the streets of our community. And the NRA gave them money to restart their K-9 team.
Wow.
That's great.
The people that don't realize how important and amazing that the NRA is sometimes, I mean, it's good to get some of these stories out there, because some people don't really get what all that they do. And it goes way past what you just said. I mean, there's huge supporters in all kinds of things like that. So if you're not part of, and this isn't a sales pitch, this is just coming from Uncle Catfish from me to you as a life member of the NRA. If you have never thought about becoming a member, it does a lot of good for a lot of people to join.
This is perhaps the best place, other than maybe the NRA annual meetings where you have folks coming from all over the country to celebrate the NRA.
Yes.
This is probably the next best place that you're going to learn about what the NRA really is.
And not only that, the organizational skills or whatever you guys have done to build this sandbox better. Listen, let me give me my perception of this show as a media walking around talking to people. If I'm at work and I go to my job every day and everybody there is miserable or don't like their job, the job may not be bad, but you don't want to go to work. And when you come here, you guys have changed the feeling of the show. All the vendors are warm. They're welcoming. They're happy. They're laughing.
It's a celebration.
They want to be here. And it's just like that aspect of work. You guys have made it so nice for everybody that even the vendors are ecstatic to just be here themselves. And it didn't always used to be like that. I'm not saying that, years and years ago, you could walk up to a booth and people would talk to you, want to sell you things. But there's a difference to it now. I'm so proud of what you guys have done with the show, because it don't matter who you go up to here. It's warm and inviting. As a consumer, not just media, as a consumer, it has a really great feeling to it. And that's hard to do. It's hard to change something that was negative for a short while to something positive. Touche. You guys have done amazing.
It's a balancing act, and it's really listening to the vendors. It's not like NRA annual meetings or our Carrot Guard Expo where we bring in all the big national brands to showcase new products and we travel to different cities every year. We understand the people who coordinate this show have relationships, not only with the big national brands and the vendors, your Rugers and your Smith & Wessons and all the big names that we bring in.
Yeah.
But they know the local vendors that have been coming to this show to put their product or their guide service in front of consumers for years and years and years. And it's a balancing act. Yeah. While we want to bring in the national brands and the big names that people from across the country know, we also understand that this is a tradition for Central Pennsylvania and that there are families, kids, fathers, grandfathers, families from multiple generations that come here and they want to see the faces that they've come to know, respect, work with, and love. And we have to give them a venue because they rely on this show. They rely on this show to help them bring in business.
Yeah.
And the NRA said, you know what? Yeah, we're going to bring in some heavy hitters, but you guys are our bread and butter.
Yeah.
Because you are the ones that were responsible for turning this show into the success that it was. We're just helping make it bigger, but you're the backbone.
That's
and we respect these guys so much, and it shows. Just like you said, every single year the vendors come back because not only do they need the business and they need the exposure here, but because they want to, and they believe in what we're doing as an organization because we believe in them.
No,
a lot of the vendors are definitely the ones who actually make the product. Or when you talk to them, they can improve that. It's not a complete disconnect from the manufacturing design. And when you're here, you can talk to those guys, and if you have an idea to help them improve, they love to hear that feedback too. So
we talked to a guy this morning who actually hand makes products.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right in front of you.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So you have major manufacturers or you have, a very primitive analog way of doing things, and they're going to put their heart and soul into it just to be here.
There's guys here from Louisiana that do alligator hunting, people here from Montana as outfitters as well. Not just guys from Finland coming here to see the show. Some of these outfitters come a long way to be at this show. So to open the doors with a smile, and that's huge. What do you guys need? And I've seen that personally while I was here. I saw somebody up in the alleyway ask one of the vendors that seemed like he was missing something or whatever. I watched him ask, what do you need? What can we do for you? And to take care of those things like that that's highly impressive as an organization.
There's no replacement for interaction, face-to-face, building relationships, making connections with people. That's, to me, and I'm sure to the NRA, that's what this show is about.
Yeah.
That's why it's become the biggest show in the world. But you have other shows like your Dallas SCI, your other big industry shows that are closed to the public. This show is for the public.
Yeah.
This show puts the customer, I'm talking face-to-face, with small independent businesses and big brands alike.
Yeah.
They can ask the questions. They can go to the experts. It's one of the best, most comprehensive collections of knowledge in the outdoor sports that you're ever going to get.
Yeah. And it's cool as a consumer show. Like, we just went out to ATA in Indianapolis, where you can walk around and see your Lee and Tiffany and see some celebrities and see things like that. It had a different kind of feel to it as a trade show. Where you come here, I saw kids' faces just lighting up when they saw the Pigman up in the rifle hall. And there's no wall, there's no security around them. Like, it's real. Like, hey, let me shake your hand, get your picture. And that's what I remember as a kid with Hank Parker coming here and seeing that, going, that is so important to a young sportsman, to a young hunting or fishing gower girl, that those interactions of bringing them here and the tradition of the show itself, has actually strengthened hunting, not just in Pennsylvania.
I had the same exact experiences growing up. Babe Winkleman was walking down the aisle. Hey, Mr. Babe Winkleman, how you doing? He's like, hey. You know, he stood there and talked to me for 10 minutes. You know, where else can you find that with that kind of status?
I had something similar happen today with Atlanta, America. Just like this. Yeah,
You're a big
give
fan.
me a big hug. I was a big fan. Yeah, that was amazing to see that girl.
That's a testament not just to the show and the NRA and the people here. That's this culture.
Yeah.
That's the outdoor culture.
And it shines here. So that's a great thing.
This is the biggest celebration of that. It's not just the brands in the industry and the media wanting to get the magazine photos and the glossy video. This is people. It's real people who are celebrating their way of life. Right in front of the brands, right in front of the people who help get them the gear and the experiences. It's really a magical thing to be a part of every year.
And Jason, this is 100% a family show. Top to bottom, you do a lot for the kids. Can you kind of walk us through some of the programs and things that families can bring and have expect to have their kids have a great time?
Absolutely. We're blessed to have 650,000 square feet of space to work with. And even with all those great vendors and exhibitors and guides that come back year in and year out, we know that can make for a long day in here. And we know that this was never meant to be just a gear show or just your regular run-of-the-mill hunting show. We wanted this to be a lifestyle event, a destination. You can pack your family up. You can come here, and everyone's going to find something that they like. Everyone's going to have something to do, and everybody's going to walk away with either a great product, a new experience, and wonderful memories. And that's how the NRA, that's who we are at the core of this organization.
Yeah.
It
Families.
should be the core of the country, right?
We're family friendly because that's what we believe the nation should be. That's our ideal, is family. It's some of the things that we've built in over the years here at the show. There's activities like we've got the Eddie Eagle Kids Zone. Obviously, Eddie Eagle, the gun safe program, is the NRA's award-winning accident prevention program. It teaches kids how to stay safe around firearms.
Yes.
It's celebrating his 30th birthday this year.
Wow.
Nice.
So at the Kids Zone, the kids can get their
Eddie.
face painted. They can meet Eddie Eagle. They can have a cupcake, all while getting the information to them and their parents how to teach your kids how to stay safe around firearms. That program is, again, one of the most amazing programs because it doesn't teach avoidance. It's accident prevention and familiarization.
Avoidance isn't the answer, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are other things. There are classics. We've got the trout pond over in the fishing hall where the
That
kids
looks like fun.
I don't know. I've never
was
gone to
almost
it.
there.
I was about dragging Stevie away from it earlier. I want to go fishing.
What's really cool is the kids casting contest too. That's been a huge hit here. And the cool thing about that is not only can kids come in and learn how to fish, but every kid that participates gets a free rod and a reel.
What's the age limit on that?
What's the age limit? Is that what you just said?
I believe it's seven all the way to 18 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
I got that
free
beat
rod,
by a
free
couple.
rod and a reel. There's a gem mining contest over in the I believe in the fishing hall as well. There's the air gun range is really, really cool. It's over in the Lifestyle Hall. Mike Johns, he's the manager of the NRA range down at Fairfax at our headquarters. He and his team do a great job every year. They've really built a wonderful range. They have range safety officers and trained NRA certified instructors that spend time with every youth who sits down at the air rifle. They don't just get to shoot targets. They get hands-on gun safety and firearms training. Each one of those kids. They spend the time and they teach them step by step.
Yeah, that's great.
That makes an impact on these kids.
And it's not just a youth field day where it's the same gun, a big long line. There's a lot of different. Like pellet and firearm. What am I looking for? Air guns over there. Different brands. Yeah.
We've got an entire airsoft experience. It's called the NRA Range Experience. Nathan Judd, he's one of our training counselors. He designed this course of fire using airsoft firearms, whether it's rifles and pistols. And it's not just your traditional sit down and use a bench rest and shoot at some targets. It's dynamic. It's almost like 3-gun.
Yeah.
Using airsoft. Wow. And these kids get a chance to step outside of that traditional bench rest shooting and run through a dynamic course of fire right here at the show. That's really, really cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
that's just one of the many things you get to do here at the show.
A lot of like your fishing that you wanted to go to, I wanted to shoot the air gun.
Did you? now I want to do the airsoft 3-gun type situation.
You know, we've had opportunities in the past to run some BB gun ranges and teach some safety, and I leave there every time feeling the sense of pride and accomplishment, like, because
a lot of them have never shot before.
They've never, you know, they're not exposed to the guns, and there's, you know, single mothers and things, you know, just having these men kind of just mentor their kids, you know, just the exposure.
That totally makes me feel good every time we do that.
Well, also coming from a non-parent situation, like the child is going to listen to a non-parental figure a little bit more and let it sink in a little bit more. Dad could have been saying, you know, watch your trigger safety for a while, and it didn't click until this instructor sat down with them and
that's
definitely,
a good point.
You know, each time you go through those processes, something else clicks.
Yeah.
As you develop.
And if you would like that, like if you would like somebody like that, an instructor to work with you, there's no better place than here to do it. I mean, it's not only do you have one of the coolest ranges and the coolest up-to-date guns and everything else, but like you said, there's so much other things for the kids to do, whereas if you just went to a range for the weekend and had an instructor sit with them, it can be kind of boring after a few shots for a young kid. Like, okay, we did this. What else is there to do? There's a lot of other things here for the kids to do.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, and it's an uphill battle, I think, because you're like, how can you make safety fun?
Right.
Well, that's difficult.
And these guys are.
I've taught hunter safety for a few years, quite a few years, and my dad's taught for 40 years in this state. And you've always got kids in the class that are bored and don't hear what you're saying because they're bored, and it is tough to make that fun. So the range out here, it looks fun to me. So I'm gonna go shoot it.
so
I'm gonna
Jason,
get passes to shoot the air rifle range.
All of us here, you know, everybody at this table are huge NRA supporters, you know, without question.
Yeah.
What listeners? How can everybody else support the NRA? What programs are out there that we can, you know, further the cause of the NRA, if you will?
There are so many different programs that don't get nearly enough exposure and that people don't think of because of kind of the media narrative that surrounds who they want to portray the NRA to be,
right,
or the misconceptions about what the NRA is. In reality, the NRA is the nation's oldest civil rights group.
Yeah.
In addition to being the foremost expert in firearms training, safety, and education. That's why this organization was founded in 1871. It started when two military officers noticed a sincere lack of marksmanship being performed in New York and said, we've got to figure out how to fix that.
Right.
That's how the NRA was born. It wasn't born as a legislative power working for gun rights. This organization was born because we wanted to build a way to be better firearm trainers, to build safer, more effective marksmen and firearm users. That's still true today. That's still at the core and at the heart of what the NRA is. And as we've talked about, that's on display here at the Great American Outdoor Show, but that expands way beyond the show. You know, you see some of the finest and just a sample of what the organization can offer. If you want to support the NRA, obviously one of the best ways to do that is to become a member.
Yeah.
You know, visit www.nra.org. That should be your starting place, your launching place. From there, you can see the benefits of being a member. Obviously, to take advantage of NRA programs, you don't have to be a member.
Right.
There are still so many ways to work with the NRA, whether you want to take a training course or even become an NRA instructor, a training counselor, a competitive shooting coach, a range safety officer.
I want to do all that.
You want to teach or refuse to be a victim self-defense course. You want to teach the Eddie Eagle Gun Safe program to if you're a law enforcement officer or a school administrator or even a concerned parent who wants to be able to take that message in education and pass it along. There are more than 140 programs in the NRA.
Wow.
Everything from education, safety, and training to competitive shooting, marksmanship. There's so much that the NRA does that I think is severely underappreciated by the media and underrepresented that people can get involved in. And the best way to start is NRA.org.
Now, on that, you can type in your area, your home address, and they're going to show you what is local to you within so many miles.
Absolutely. You can find even local ranges to shoot. We have a Find a Range feature. You can find training courses near you. You can look up the competitions around your area. You can look up NRA certified instructors are near you if you wanted to go take courses. So many different ways to find NRA near you. That's kind of the beauty of the NRA. It's always been a grassroots organization. And yes, the organization has grown. Yes, over time, we have become a major legislative power working to defend the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
But again, at its core, the NRA is a grassroots organization that relies on its members and our instructors and our volunteers to go out and fight the good fight, educate, train, and make people more aware.
Well, everything starts with a good foundation, and it started from a good cause, and that's why it's as strong as it is, and it shows. I mean, getting back to, I hate to get back to the Great American Outdoor Show, but it's literally, it's literally what you guys have done here is, I mean, and I don't mean to bring up bad blood, but the only way to make my point is like whenever the old show got taken over by another organization, and there was some of that like bad publicity, bad blood. And when the NRA took it over, there was a lot of like things can get twisted around. There was skeptics that saying, "Oh, the NRA is going to do." They've done nothing. They've done nothing but make this thing 1,000 times better than what it was.
It was a sigh of relief.
Even before like the changeover, the old one that was great, it's even 10 times better.
Yeah, it was a sigh of relief when for us, to have that, you guys take this show on, and it was like
it was scary. It was almost like the show had a heart attack.
We thought what was going to happen.
We got a really bad surgeon to do the heart surgery for like just a short time, but the recovery time has been nothing more than a miracle. Like it's just been amazing.
There was a year where there was no show, right?
Yeah,
and
that's correct.
That,
2013.
That was devastating to this area.
All of us.
It was devastating, but I think it was necessary because there's something you have to keep in mind, whether it's hunting, whether it's your Second Amendment rights, your right to self-defense. We are one generation away from losing it all.
Yeah.
No, we are.
Not having that show here in 2013 on many different levels, whether it was economically, whether it was just culturally, that was a wake-up call to, I think, a lot of people who said, listen, this is what happens. This is what can happen when you let people come in who don't understand, you let your guard down, you'll lose it all. And that goes so far beyond the show. But that show was, I think, a good example of what happens. And fortunately, the fans stood up, the NRA stood up and said, we're going to fix this. And looking around, that's exactly 5 years in what we've been able to accomplish here in Harrisburg.
I'm super proud of the NRA for doing this.
Yeah, you've done a great job with that. And you also show that this week is a celebration of the culture. And you even kick it off with a concert later in the week. You want to
absolutely
fill us in on that?
Obviously, music is a huge part of most people's lives. And we've got our own country brand, NRA Country. We bring artists up that are looking to make it big in the country scene, give them exposure, and they go out there and promote their Second Amendment rights, the right to keep and bear arms. And we have a concert each year here now at the show that's become a big hit. It's become a big draw. It's Saturday night. This year it's February 10th. And we have NRA Country artist Granger Smith. He was an alumni from last year. He's headlining this year. Cool. We've got Locash and local boy Nate Hosey, who is a hunter. He has a show. And he's going to be here with an album release party, getting performed in front of a lot of friends and family. Great. And that show, that's also become in its own right something that the community looks forward to. Folks who may not even necessarily be outdoorsmen or into that scene, that's an event that we bring to Harrisburg. We're bringing more people into the arena, into Harrisburg, to see this music event.
And also, when you get a ticket, you also get a ticket to the show.
No, the concert is separate from the show.
Can you come in through? Or
no, they're completely separate. And the reason we wanted to do that, just like I said before, because there are folks that don't really want to come to the show. They may not have time. They don't understand.
Amenity. Yeah.
We didn't want to block the people out from being able to just buy a ticket and come to the concert because that's outreach in its own right.
Yeah.
No, that's good thinking.
We encourage folks, obviously, to come to both.
Yeah.
And that's why we have the concert here on site in the large arena.
Okay.
And a lot of people, trust me, they come all day, they hang out at the show, and they cap off the experience at the concert. But we wanted to make sure that you didn't have to get both to do both. We keep those separate entities to that degree. Absolutely.
And that what day of the week is that?
At Saturday, February 10th, doors are at 6:30.
And tickets are still available for the concert?
There are a few still available. That ticket, I mean, it's a large arena here at the show, but it's, in general, it's a smaller venue, and it really fills up fast because we're aggressive pushing those tickets. You can buy tickets to the show. You can buy tickets to the concert. You can buy special event tickets all online at greatamericanoutdoorshow.org. And that's really cool because especially on the weekend days, it gets busy. You can skip the lines. You buy your tickets ahead of time, bring your phone, you get right in.
That large arena pulls double duty.
It does.
Did you guys ever go to this concert?
I did a few years ago. I went
Did you go,
one of the
you go
first
to this
year.
concert?
Sometimes. I didn't go last year.
Stevie, I've not been invited to this concert.
No.
Have you been invited?
Never.
So once again, DK has not invited us to
He's
do
left
something.
us out.
I see where you're going now.
I didn't even know you the year I went. So.
DK doesn't invite us to do anything.
Convenient excuse there.
That large arena does pull like triple duty because the first half of the show, we have the Dock Dogs competition in there. There's like a big pool, and you have people bringing their dogs in, competing, jumping off into the pool. There's
It's
a rock
amazing.
climbing wall in
They
there.
fly.
And then Wednesday comes along, and we've got an incredible team of logisticians that go in there and break that down, and they build a world-class concert stage.
That
And
quick.
they're ready to go for Saturday
cool.
night. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Those dogs are amazing. There's a three-legged dog up there. Lacey saw a three-legged dog up there knock a guy in the water earlier. He's a bad dog. He can jump pretty far with three legs, though.
The three-legged dog is just cute than another dog.
Oh, well, he's my favorite anyhow. Any three-legged dog that can still jump is my favorite.
He's got a lot of spirit.
He's got a lot of spirit in him. We like spirit. I'm super stoked to be here again this year. I would like to take a big thank you to the NRA for letting Rutten River Pursuits come down and talk to you guys.
Absolutely.
Let us talk to our friends that we've met here over the years, and it's our pleasure to run around as well and try to get the name out of some of the smaller mom and pop shops that are trying to make it, as opposed to some of the bigger people that are here. Because everybody has that American dream to do it, and if they want to work in the outdoor industry and make a product or be a guide, whether how small or how big you are, we want to share that as well because we want this show to go on forever. We would do anything we can do to get the name out of the NRA that is doing amazing.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's really important to the NRA that we keep bringing back these local businesses, these regional businesses, because like I said before, that's the backbone of the show. They were here before we got here, and we expect them to stay and to keep coming back. That's the heart and soul of the show. That really makes it special. It doesn't feel like the big national SCI or your other big trade shows. This is unique. This is the only show of its kind, of this scale, of this size. And it's a beautiful mix of, local family businesses and then the big brands from across the country. And there's no other place you're going to get that. This is a completely unique environment. That's why people come from far and wide to see it.
I've never seen a show like this before.
No.
It can be overwhelming if it's your first time here.
Last year was my first year working press for the show, and it's unlike anything I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
And, I thought I was prepared coming back this year, and now almost through day 2, and I'm starting to have doubts. Maybe I wasn't even ready for my own show this year. It's just such a huge experience.
We need like a Sherpa or something. Some kind of guy.
Packer.
Yeah.
You guys are nailing it. So thank you. So NRA.org to learn more about the NRA.
Absolutely. NRA.org to learn about the NRA, our mission, our programs, and become a member. And if you want to learn more about this amazing show, greatamericanoutdoorshow.org. You get your tickets, you can get your schedule, check out the special events, plan your day. I don't think you can do it in a day.
You can't.
But
Bless your heart
take
if you
a look
try.
and you can plan your adventure here. It's a blast, and I say that personally, it's an incredible experience. Like you said, almost overwhelming.
Yeah.
And
It's
if you
an
get your
amazing
tickets
time.
online, you can skip the line to buy tickets at the door. There's a separate line for pre-order tickets.
Right. When you buy tickets, you can pick them up here. You can do will call, but you can also buy the tickets. Bring your phone and have the folks at the door scan your phone. You don't have to wait in the ticket sales lines.
That's awesome.
And I mean, let's be honest. It's February. It's Harrisburg. There's about 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground outside right now. If you could just kind of breeze in, it gives you more time out there to talk to the vendors.
Absolutely.
And
Come on in and get warm.
I love this website, too, because if you're coming down here and you only do have one day, there's a lot of seminars, and the schedule on the seminars is right on the website.
Yep.
So that if you want to go watch, how to skin and do deer, or you want to go learn, how to cook trout, whatever, There's some amazing seminars here from some of the top pros in the industry.
Something for everybody.
There's something for everybody. And definitely check out the website before you come, because you can see what times and what halls they're in. So.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, more than 200 seminars over 9 days. From hunting, fishing, self-defense, long-range shooting. You name it, you can learn about it here at the show.
I'm going to talk to Jason. Maybe he'll let me give a seminar on how to properly make and eat corn dogs next year, because that's important.
You should do that.
I think you'd pack the house with that.
Oh my God.
People clear their schedules now for your famous corn dog talk.
Oh my God, corn dogs rule my life.
You just need a stage, my friend.
I know it.
Alrighty.
I had a great time, Jason. Thanks for talking to us, boss.
Guys, thanks for coming every year. We appreciate what you guys do to tell the story of this great show, and we hope that you all keep coming back year after year and making it special.
Yeah, we appreciate what the NRA does for us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
See ya.